What we've found, studies have shown that in the USA, the UK and Europe, anybody who starts a business, 80% of business owners will fail in the first 5 years. Our reason to exist as business coaches is to stop that happening. I had my own business in the UK before I was a coach. My dad had businesses as well. I know what it feels like when a business fails. It's not just a business that fails, it affects the family, it affects the finances, it affects the health of the whole family. So our role as coaches is to work with business owners and improve that statistic, to make sure that businesses don't fail, to improve their profitability, to improve the lifestyle of the business owners. Coaching works for anybody who wants to achieve a high level of achievement. We work with business owners. My clients, when I was a coach, I've actually coached people to improve their golf, improve their tennis, improve their health, improve a variety of aspects of their life, because coaching works in business but also in life as well. We look at it in terms of as a sports coach. If anybody here has played a sport, a football, or do you play cricket in Bulgaria? I don't think you do play cricket. No, okay. Well, you should. We used to play cricket in the UK, but we don't. But in sports, if you think of top sports people, whether they're gymnasts, footballers, pick any sports person or sports team, they have a coach working with them. The reason the coach works with them is because if you imagine a football team. The football team go onto the pitch, they play the game, the coach stands off the pitch. He or she watches the game, and then when they come off the pitch at half time, he or she gives them some ideas and some tips and some guidance. Same as a business coach. I don't run the business for my clients. We agree a plan, we agree a process, they go and do it, we measure the results, and then we review what's been going on. So a business coach is the same as a sports coach. I don't run the business for my clients. I'm there 1 hour a week with my clients, that's it. Maybe on the telephone or face-to-face. They run the business, I have an independent view, and I then coach them to get better results. Does that make sense? Anybody fallen asleep yet? No, go. Yes, someone's fallen asleep. So how does coaching work? There are aspects to successful coaching. Rule number 1, alignment. Now what we mean by this is, imagine if you own your own business, or you're in sports, or anything, or in life. If I'm your coach, I need to know where you are right now. What's your current situation? In business, I need to understand your revenue, your profit, your team, your cash flow, your balance sheet, everything about your business. And I benchmark that as a start point. As your coach next, I need to know, well, where would you like that to be? How much sales do you want? How much profit do you want? How much cash? How many hours a week do you want to work? In business, if anybody here owns their own business, if any business owners in the room, anybody here own their own business, how many hours a week, roughly, do you work?
16 hours per day.
16 hours per day. So that's... Okay. A lot of hours, okay? Thank you. Now, that's very typical. Business owners tend to work harder in their own business than they would work if they worked for somebody else. They work more hours for less pay, more stress, and less results. But because they own their own business, it makes it okay. Make sense? I did the same. I did the same thing. So I would speak to you and say, look, you're working 16 hours a day right now. This is your revenue, your profit, your cash flow. It's okay where it is now, but if you could, where would you like it to be? And you may say, well, I'd like to work just 2 days a week. I'd like to have an income of this amount of money. I want to have property investments. I want to expand my business. I want to franchise my business, perhaps, whatever it is. I need to understand your goals, your objectives, your visions, and your dreams. So coaching works from where are we now? I need to understand where you are right now. And then exactly where do you want to be in the future? And when? In 12 months' time, or 2 years' time, or 5 years' time. The whole challenge of coaching, my role as your coach then, knowing those two coordinates, is to coach you on a program to get you there. It's like having a satellite navigation system in your car, a GPS. When you want to go somewhere, the GPS system, you type in the address you want to go to, is that right? And he says, you're here now, you want to get to there. Then you'll say, which route do you want to go? Do you want to avoid the toll roads? Do you want to only go on the auto route? Do you want to stop off somewhere on the way? Having a coach is exactly the same. You tell me what you want, you tell the coach what you want, or if you become a coach, you'll have to have this information from your clients. Where you are, where you're going to go, and how do you want to get there. I had clients for 6 and 7 years working with me. Because the challenge with alignment is, imagine this, if you're working 16 hours a day right now in your business, you're really, really busy, and you're likely getting tired and you're stressed. It's called having your own business. The visions and goals you have right now are based upon where you are right now. Maybe you just want to get out of the business and do something else. I don't know, maybe you do. As you proceed through the business, I can guarantee in 6 months' time, the goals that you had right now will be different in 6 months' time. Because instead of working 16 hours a day, maybe you start working 6 hours a day. Has that goal changed for me now? No, I still want to be a fighter. No. But it doesn't. My vision, my goal has changed. So as we develop and we move through a coaching program and we learn new things, our goals may change as well. So alignment is key. I can't coach you. Coaching doesn't work unless I know where you want to go to. And the key point there I want to emphasize is it's your goal, not mine. As a coach, the rule of coaching, if you like, is for me to ask you questions to find out what you want and where you want to go. It's not for me to say, well, knowing you as I do, I think you'd be great at doing this. That's management. I'm not a manager, I'm a coach. So it's key that the objectives are set by the client. They choose, and they can choose whatever they like. If they want to franchise their business, or sell the business, work fewer hours, or whatever it is, that's their goal, their choice, I will coach them towards that. But alignment is the key one, is the key stone. The coaching tends to be weekly. Excuse me. And the reason for weekly coaching, if I agree, I use questions. As your coach, I will ask you questions. Now, when a coach asks you a question, it's not really a question. It's an instruction. I'm going to get you to do something. For example, I'll stand from behind here for a second or two. I need to lose. Is that okay, guys? Yeah, excellent. I'll move the mic. I need to lose a bit of weight. Maybe 1 or 2 kilos. Maybe 3 or 4. Okay. So, do I know how to lose weight? Do I know how to do that? Yeah. Stop eating and exercise more. It's easy, okay? Why don't I do it? Why don't any of us do it? And this applies to health or smoking or drinking or whatever, anything like that. The reason I don't do it is because nobody's holding me accountable to it. I don't need a coach to coach me to do something I enjoy doing. I need a coach to coach me to do something I don't enjoy doing. So I need a coach to get me to go to the gym 3 times a week and do the rounds, do the runs. I don't need a coach to coach me to go to the bar or to coach me to go have steak and chips. I can do that by myself. So coaching is weekly because if I agree something with you as my client, I need to make sure you're doing it and you're keeping doing it on a regular basis. Because guess what, if you do something, for example, if one of your fears in business is public speaking or presenting, or it's selling, for example, if you agree to do something and then you don't do it, if I leave it for a month or 2 months, it's too late. Every week I'll be checking on you. Being a coach, I won't be very popular with you. You won't like me as your coach because I'm going to get you to do things that you don't want to do. So coaching can be uncomfortable. Now my clients love me and hated me equally. Because one, they love me because they got great results. Coaching gets results, more money, less time, whatever goals they want. They didn't like me because I made them do things they didn't want to do every week. So coaching can be an uncomfortable relationship to have. If you've had a sports coach, whether it's at school or college or whatever else, a football coach or a soccer coach, was the coach always nice? Were they always popular and friendly? No. Because I want you to win, they had to coach you to win. So coaching is weekly for that reason. There are then aspects of the actual coaching. There's transactional coaching. So what I will do, to build a business, I will need to teach you, as your coach, about sales, marketing, finance, cash flow, teams, systems. So part of the coaching will be, I'm going to coach you to do a system, a transaction. I will teach you how to do a cash flow forecast, a budget, how to understand your balance sheet, how to sell. When you go to a sales meeting, how do you sell your product or your service? There are ways of doing it. So there's transactional coaching, teaching you the basics of how to run a business. I will take my clients through that process. So transactional coaching is teaching the fundamentals of business. Understand what makes money, profit, market, margins, standard things. Now that I will give you templates for that, and you'll then go and work on them, I'll teach you how to do it, and we'll build a business that way. So transactional coaching is key. The toolkit, how do you build a business? The second aspect is what I call transformational coaching. This is when I'm going to work on you as an individual, your knowledge or your beliefs around yourself. If you have belief, for example, if you go to a sales meeting, I use sales, it's a key one. If you go to a sales meeting and you don't believe you have confidence in yourself or your product or your service, you will not sell your product. Because if I go to a meeting, for example, so I'll go back a little bit. If I was to stand here in front of you as a coach, and I was very, very nervous about presenting and talking, you'd spot that straight away. You wouldn't hire me as your coach if I'm very, very nervous. Now, if you don't have high belief in your product or service or yourself, I need to work on you with that. So we have transformational coaching. And again, there's methods and processes of that. But I want you to have as much confidence as you can have in yourself and your ability so that you can build your business. So transactional coaching is systems and process. Transformational is beliefs and mindset, and I'll work on both. The third aspect to it is accountability. Because if as your coach, if you agree to do something, I will hold you accountable to that. And I'll give you a very quick example. Am I okay for time? I'm okay for time. A quick example, just to finish this off. One of my clients ran a construction company, a building company. In the warehouse, he had some materials, some bricks and some roofing tiles and slates. And they were out of date, and he said he kept them for years. And they were worth around about £25,000. So a high value, a lot of stock, a lot of value. But he agreed to sell them, to clear the space, to get the cash, to put the cash into something else. That was his objective for the week. Very, very easy to sell that stock and release the cash. When I went to see him the week after, he hadn't sold that stock because he had some excuses. I didn't have the time. I didn't make the right phone call. I didn't. He had lots of excuses for not doing it. Now, as his coach, I need to hold him accountable to sell that stock. So what I did, at the front of the building, there were lots of car park spaces. And because he owned the business, one of the car park spaces had his name on it on a big plate. So I spoke to the forklift driver in the warehouse. I said, look, all those pallets of stock, take them out of the warehouse and put them in his car park space. Which really upset him. I mean, it was really upsetting. So when he turned up at his business in the morning, he couldn't park his car. And he phoned me, and he said, I won't swear because I'm not trying to translate. He wasn't happy. Okay? Why have you done this? You can't do this. I think you're an idiot. I don't get you. I said, look, you can't park your car there until you sold the stock. I'm not doing this, and he hung the phone upon me. He was not happy. But remember, I said, having a coach is not comfortable. I'm not here to be nice to people. So, during that week, I said to his guys, his team, you do not move that stock. For now, you work for me, you don't move that stock. He was not happy. But that week, guess what he did? He sold the stock. He got £23,000 for it, got rid of the stock, he paid off his credit card, he paid off some of the people he owed money to, he felt much better for it. So in terms of accountability, yes, we agree with plan of action, we're going to do it very, very simple. If you don't do it, it's my job to make sure that you do.